skip the drive-thru and make your own egg bites easily using your Instant Pot. Hi everyone, Kristen here. As someone who suffers from a chronic disease, I believe homemade is best, but it doesn't need to be complicated. If you've had Starbucks Sous-Vide eggs, you know just how delicious they are. They're light and creamy and fluffy, and they are just divine. If you've never had them, there's no need to rush out to the drive-thru. My recipe for Instant Pot egg bites is going to replicate the flavor of Starbucks Sous-Vide eggs perfectly and for a fraction of the cost. So let's get cooking. The first thing you need to know about making egg bites is you need egg bite molds. It's really no substitution for these molds, and you can get them on Amazon, or you can get it at Kohl's or Walmart or Target or any store like that. I'm gonna link to my egg bite mold in the description of the video below in case you don't have one. And then we wanna talk about our fillings for the egg bites. You can keep them super simple and just do eggs and cheese, or you could add things like sauteed vegetables or diced ham or some cooked sausage. Today, I'm making my family's favorite, which is bacon and Swiss. Who doesn't love bacon, right? The first thing I'm gonna do today is bake my bacon for my egg bites today. I love baking bacon. It's hands off, it doesn't make a mess in my kitchen, and the bacon turns out perfectly. So I have a sheet pan here that I've placed a cooking rack on top of the sheet pan. And then I'm going to lay my bacon strips out evenly on my pan. Now for one batch of egg bites, you only need 2 strips of bacon, but I'm preparing some extra slices to keep on hand for things like BLTs or salads, or just to eat. Who doesn't love bacon, right? So I'm gonna pop this into the oven at 400 degrees. I'm gonna bake it for about 15 minutes. Your oven may need more like 18 minutes. Just keep a close eye on it for the last couple minutes until your bacon is nice and cooked and crispy. Once my bacon's baked, I'm going to chop up 2 slices of bacon into fine bite-sized pieces. And certainly you could use bacon bits if you have that on hand. I personally prefer the bacon freshly baked myself. I'm gonna evenly divide this bacon between the 7 cups of my mold here. Now I've never needed to spray my egg bite molds with nonstick spray. However, if you don't have a good quality silicone mold, I certainly would suggest spraying the mold really well with nonstick spray before adding your fillings. That way your egg bites don't stick and they look just as beautiful as if you purchased them at Starbucks. We're gonna set our mold aside here and we're gonna prepare our egg base. And I'm gonna use a blender to prepare that, which is just going to perfectly incorporate the eggs with the cheese and the cottage cheese that we're gonna add and just keep it really light and creamy. Now to my blender, I'm adding in 4 eggs and a pinch of salt and pepper. I'm not using much salt today because the bacon has a lot of added salt, and we're adding in cheese and cottage cheese here in a minute, which both have added sodium as well. To keep these egg bites light, creamy, and fluffy and be authentically like Starbucks egg bites, you need to add in cottage cheese. Trust me on that. The cottage cheese will give these egg bites a tangy, creamy finish, and it will keep the texture super, super light. So to my blender, I'm adding in 1/3 cup of cottage cheese. Don't use fat-free cottage cheese. You can certainly use reduced fat cottage cheese, but fat-free cottage cheese will not cook up the same. And finally, I'm adding in 1/4 cup of shredded Swiss cheese. Use whatever cheese you like. Pop the lid on my blender, and we're gonna blend our eggs until they're nice and combined and the cottage cheese is fully broken up. We're gonna pour our egg mixture evenly between our egg bite molds here. Each mold should be about 3/4 of the way full. Cover our mold tightly with foil. And now to prepare our Instant Pot. To my inner pot, I'm pouring in 1.5 cups of cold water, placing in the inner rack, popping my egg bites into my Instant Pot here. Like I said, you can double this recipe, and to do so, you would just stack another egg bite mold right on top of the first one. No need to have a separate trivet or anything to separate them. The foil will protect the egg bites. And then you wanna pop your lid on the Instant Pot. Make sure your vent knob is pointed towards sealed. Now to set cooking time, you're gonna hit manual or pressure cook and use the plus or minus buttons to adjust until it reads 9. Once the cooking time has elapsed, don't do anything. If you did a quick release of pressure, your egg bites would seize up and they wouldn't be soft and fluffy and they just wouldn't be as good. So be sure to let pressure release on its own for at least 10 minutes. Then you can open up the Instant Pot. I'm gonna use these little mini pot holders here to protect my hands and just pull out my egg bites. You want to remove the foil and just let them sit for a minute or two, and then they'll easily invert out onto a plate. These egg bites are so fun and they're so delicious. They're perfect for brunches, they're perfect for breakfast on the go, they're perfect for a snack, really whatever you like. I'm gonna go ahead and have one right now. I popped the whole thing in my mouth. Probably not smart while I'm filming. Sorry about that. But it's creamy, it's cheesy, it's salty from the bacon. It's really, really delicious. These egg bites really are perfect. They make a great breakfast. Just don't forget that latte. And in my next video, I'm gonna share with you how to make a 60-second latte at home for a penny. I'm all about saving you money today.